Next, to help you quickly master Magic Command, we'll build 5 practical cases together. By working through these concrete scenarios, you can more intuitively understand how Magic Command works and gradually get familiar with its basic usage and extensibility. Let's look at the first case. Our requirement is for Magic Command to do the following. Based on the current Excel workbook, calculate the total number of each type of certificate, find the month with the highest count for each type, and finally save the results to a new workbook. I'm sure everyone will quickly understand this requirement. However, AI doesn't have visual capabilities. So how does it identify the contents of the current Excel workbook? The simplest way is to upload the file directly to it and let it perform operations based on the uploaded spreadsheet. In the Magic Command Operation interface, just click the button at the bottom left of the input box to upload a local file. It supports Excel, CSV, or JSON file formats with a maximum file size of 4 MB. After successfully uploading the file, describe your request as specifically as possible in the input box. Here, I enter, based on the uploaded file, calculate the total number of each type of certificate and identify the month with the highest count for each type. Save the results in a new sheet. After describing the request, click Send. After the command is generated, a prompt appears above, informing us that generating this command requires calling external dependency libraries. Don't worry too much about this. Just click Install, wait a moment, and once the prompt disappears, you can run command normally. We slightly adjust the configuration items, renaming the output file to test. After the successful run, open the newly created file and you'll see the data has been correctly written. Let's move on to the second case. The requirement is to stitch 9 images from a folder into a single image in a 9-square grid layout. There is only one thing to do, which is to describe your requirements clearly. Enter. There are 9 images in the folder. Please help me piece them together into one image, forming a 9-square grid style, and save it in this folder. You only need to provide an input box for the folder path. Click Send. The command was generated quickly. Check the configuration settings and click Test. Unfortunately, the run hid an error. That's okay. Click Smart Fix to see whether it can resolve the issue. After a short wait, the fix worked. Run it again, and it shows success. At the same time, you can see the generated image in the folder on the left. Double-click to view it. Perfect. On the left, there's a Before folder with 3 subfolders, Day 1, Day 2, and Day 3. Day 1 contains a document. Day 2 contains 2 documents. Day 3 has 2 subfolders, which in turn contain documents and more subfolders. For the third case, we need to copy all documents from the Before folder to the After folder. And since there are files with duplicate names, we also need to rename all of them. First, describe copy all Word documents in the target folder to a new folder. Since there are a large number of duplicate name documents, renaming is required. Next, you need to give AI a clear renaming rule so that it meets expectations. For example, rename the original file under the directory to original file _ folder A, which not only distinguishes files but also quickly clarifies their source. Send this naming convention to AI. Configure the target folder and run it. You'll see that all the documents from the left folder have been copied over, and they've all been renamed. But some files were originally nested in several levels of folders, and the renaming result isn't ideal. Obviously, the prompt we provided isn't rigorous enough. When renaming files with deep layers, the easiest way is to add the names of all their parent folders at the end. For instance, we can name this file original file _ folder A _ folder B. You can hit Still Need to Modify to make changes, or clear all descriptions and regenerate the command directly. Here, I'll copy all the prompts from just now and then click Clear. Paste the original prompts back and add an extra rule. Regenerate it. Configure the target folder. Then clear the left folder. Click Run. This time it intelligently adds the names of all parent folder levels to the file name. This is a homestay booking website, and there's a date picker component on the right side of the page. This component works a bit differently. To switch months, you need to click the back and next buttons at the top. To select a date range, hold down the mouse on the start date, drag it to the end date, and then release the mouse. For this kind of non-standard date selection component, manually writing an automation command to handle it will definitely take a lot of time and effort. At this point, handing this requirement over to AI is undoubtedly the most efficient choice. In the fourth case that follows, we'll focus on this scenario, using Magic Command to automatically select a range in the date picker. First, specify the target range. Click the Capture button below, select a date element, and expand the selection to include all target elements for operation. Then, fill in your specific requirements in the input box. The core function is to realize intelligent date selection within the provided area while clearly describing the operational characteristics of this date component. In addition, this command needs to support entering specific date ranges, so continue to add relevant descriptions. The description is now sufficiently clear. Click Send, and the command will be generated successfully. Modify the target date from November 8th to November 13th. Refresh the web page, then click Run. The specified date range will be selected successfully. Finally, let's extract data from this page and export it. We need to extract the product name, description, category, number of reviews, and number of likes. Write this information into a new Excel workbook and save the workbook to the specified folder. This requirement has two core steps, extract and write. Let's start with the data extraction part. This time we'll use the unstructured data extraction in Web Automation directly. First, capture the target range. Then enter, extract the product name, description, category, number of reviews, and number of likes. And click Send. After a short wait, it's generated successfully. Run the command. It runs successfully, but the scraped data isn't very easy to view. So let's print the result to check it out. Get the web page object and in Print, select the variable extracted underscore data output by this magic command. Click Run. Expand the result to take a look. Clearly, this data structure is very complex. How can we write such complex data into an Excel workbook? Don't worry, we'll still leave this to AI. Our goal is to write the data to a new Excel workbook and save it to a specified folder. So the prompt needs to include reference data and the specified folder path. Set the folder path to the demo folder under the C drive, and you can copy this output directly as the reference data. You can either let the original magic command continue processing or use a new magic command. I chose to create a new one. Enter the prompt, then paste the content you just copied and click Send. Great, the command is generated. Replace the data in the input with extracted underscore data. With this setup, we pass the variable output by the previous magic command to the current one for further processing. Run the complete flow. After execution succeeds, find the generated file, and you can see that all the data has been written correctly. Congratulations on completing the building of 5 cases with me. By now, you should be proficient in using Magic Command. In fact, the core of Magic Command is having the large language model generate a complete executable Python code snippet based on your prompts. If you click Edit Source Code in the top left corner, you can view the command's underlying code. If you have basic programming knowledge, you can edit the generated Python code, or even paste ready-made Python code directly to create a command. We won't go into too much detail on this part here. Anyone interested can explore and try it out on their own. That's all for Magic Command. Its limits are entirely defined by your imagination. You can try using Magic Command to recreate the web automation and Excel automation cases we built earlier. A command that originally took 20 lines of code can be condensed down to just 1 line with Magic Command. This process is sure to amaze you. All right, that's it for this session. See you next class.